I'm here with Vickery, correspondent for the BBC in Rio de Janeiro. Tim, we just watched the 3-0 defeat of Fluminense against Grêmio in the Libertadores Cup. What are your impressions?
My first impression is that football is so wonderfully unpredictable, and that one game can take so many different routes. My expectation before this game was that Wellington Neng, little striker for Fluminense, would win the game for Fluminense. I thought he would get behind Andrés Santos, he would attack veteran centre-back Chris, and he would win the game. And when it was still 0-0, just before the first goal, it almost happened. The 1-2 with Wagner, he nearly was in there behind the line of the defence, but he just couldn't quite accept the return pass. Could have happened. Instead, what happened is that 2 minutes later, the other end of the field, Grêmio scored with a corner that shows the importance of set pieces. That corner struck with the inverted foot, struck right from the left-hand side by Elano. In fact, struck with quality, speed. It's so difficult to defend against because the curve means it arrives at the striker before it arrives at the centre-back. So it was beautifully executed, 1-0 for Grêmio. But already I thought there were signs that Grêmio were the better side. And the key man for me was Eduardo Vargas, because Vargas, right-sided attacker from Chile, he's changed this team of Grêmio from a 4-2-2-2 to something which is more like 4-2-3-1, because he'll play wide right, lots of mobility between him, Elano, Zé Roberto. Vargas scored the third goal, created the second with a cross, and the presence of Vargas I thought was vital in terms of stopping Fluminense. Fluminense are quite a traditional Brazilian side in that it's absolutely vital for them their attacking fullbacks get forward. Absolutely vital, especially Carlinhos on the left-hand side of the field. So many of the opportunities for their centre forward, Freire, come from crosses into the box. And Fluminense's fullbacks were never able to get behind the line. Bruno on the right is a little bit more timid anyway. 60 minutes he managed to get behind the line for a cross that Freire couldn't quite control and head it over. But the main route is Carlinhos. And the presence of Vargas wide right kept Carlinhos back. When Carlinhos did push forward, he's got either Vargas or Elano to block him, and I think this was absolutely vital in terms of destroying the supply line to Freire. It meant that he hardly had a chance in the game, and for these reasons I think Eduardo Vargas was the key player, because his inclusion permits more movement, he scores, he creates, and he blocks the forward runs of Fluminense left-back Carlinhos. And the lesson I think to draw from that is that sometimes these Brazilian teams can really have problems against opponents who play attackers in wide spaces. It's not that common these days in contemporary Brazilian football. It's beginning to come back. Wingers and wide strikers are beginning to come back, but it's something you see much more in other countries in South America, and it can cause problems, and that I think was key in the fact that Fluminense lost tonight.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.